Hi everyone, my name's Wayno. I'm 44 years old, and on Saturday the 18th of November I participated and completed Scott Evernet's 6-hour Crucible event in Sydney. First of all, I just mentioned full respect to Scott and his team and the way that that event was put together. It was a fantastic event, well thought out, well planned, very good event. Why did I choose to do the Crucible? Look, to be honest, I've been following Scott Evernet for about 5-6 years. I've experienced him a few times before COVID, had a few conversations with him on the phone. I always appreciate the way Scott takes what's already amazing and wants to make it more. He's always pushing and trying to develop things to make people better versions of themselves. And I really respect that in him. And it was basically knowing what he wants to do with himself and the people around him. I just wanted to feed into what he had to offer, and fair enough, the task was pretty hard and there was a fair bit to do, but based on the fact that it's his program and that he was the guy that set it up, that's pretty much the bulk of the reason why I decided to do it. I'll just start by saying that when the event kicked off, I was allocated the number 6. I really appreciated the fact that I could drop my identity in the community as, as the employee, as the father, as the partner, as the community-minded person that I like to be. The fact that I could go into an event with people that I sort of only met through a WhatsApp chat, but the fact that I was known as number 6 instead of my birth name was a very, very pleasant feeling for me. I was born into that number 6 as soon as Jack wrote it on my arm, and I really felt the urge to form an identity about what I wanted number 6 to look like. And I wanted number 6 to have effort. I wanted number 6 to have courage. I wanted number 6 to have leadership. I really feel like I delivered most of those things on the day. Sense of urgency here and there could have been better, but I hope that I upheld that number 6 the way that number 6 needed to be held up. And as far as being a team player, I'd like to think I was a pretty integral cog in that machine on that day. My favourite part of the Crucible was a part where on the beach just after we had done the version of Murph. We had to get a medicine ball across the line. We had to go into a contest with another contestant about who could get that medicine ball over that line. For me, I really wanted that victory. And look, the guy I was up against, his name is Matt. He's a big man. He's a strong guy. We came a draw in the first one, and I was absolutely out of gas. We grappled, we wrestled, we rolled around in the sand, and we gave it everything we had. And eventually, I was able to get that ball over the line and ring that bell. And I know this event is not about individual accomplishments, but for me as a person over the years there's been a fair few failures, and to have that independent sort of victory, especially against a man like Matt, just really meant the world to me. I really got goosebumps out of that. I was stoked that I went into a contest on my own and was able to come out the other side the victory, and I just love that part of it. Was Matt. Look, I think that possibly the hardest part of the Crucible for me was after we did the breath work with Scott, which really stimulated my mind and sort of woke my body back up. I sensed the end was near, and my brain started to chatter to me that I didn't have to put in as much effort as the others, or maybe I could let other people carry the stretcher, which had about 100 kilos worth of sandbags on it. My body started to respond to that voice. My shoulders started to get sore. My traps started to get sore, really sore. And to battle that out in that last sort of 30 minutes, to stay strong and keep that voice quiet and put the action in, that was probably the hardest part of the day for me. But to get hold of that stretcher a few times and just drag it forward, or however I did it, to get to the other end and have it that task completed with that voice. As soon as Scott said it was over, that voice had nothing to say. But for the last 30 minutes it was a bit of a battle, but I just stuck with it and got there. What can I take from the Crucible? What can I draw from it? When we were a couple of hours into it, my headspace was so quiet, my mindset was so focused, and I was really just focused on the now. There weren't old tapes playing, there wasn't chatter about this and that. There was just tasks being issued by staff and me having the willingness and the sharp mindset to carry it out in a way where it was very close to perfect most of the time. I'm not saying it was like that all the time, but to hear a direction and just fall into it and just do it without having my mind clouded by other stuff. Being in that moment for at least 4 hours was possibly one of the most blissful experiences that I've ever had. I highly recommend Scott Evident and his team. Like if anyone's out there looking for something different, the Crucible is the way to go.
Do you think you deserve to be here today?
100%.
Why?
Because I'm going to strive for it, you know, I'm going to work for it. I'm prepared for it. Like I'm worthy of this task.